Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is Milo Wilson, aka Suspect 20. You're here for a live on-air broadcast. I can't see your messages because I'm doing something a little bit different for this broadcast. We're making a track over here, and I'm going to kind of guide you guys through that for a minute. It's going to begin. It's going to be like a beginner's course, crash course kind of a deal. All right, so. Man, not only is my character stoned right now, but there's also a UFO in the background, which is pretty weird. If you're a friend of mine, you can load up. I'm in a friend's lobby, but I'm not going to be in here for long because eventually I'm going to get to a point where I want to enter the creator. It's going to be cool. I'll take this car. I'm going to do something really unique inside the creator that I think all of you guys will enjoy being able to see. And it's just a way to get your own vehicle inside of the race that you're creating. It's going to be dope. We're going to have a good time. So hang out, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Do your best right now to go ahead and hit like, subscribe, tap that notifications bell. That's really the best thing you can do for the channel. Hitting like, commenting, sharing, doing whatever you can. So take a time to at least hit the like button real fast. It's just right there. All you got to do is tap the screen and tap the thumb. And man, that really helps out a lot. So basically, this is my my gas station, my new gas station that I come to every day. My character's got to fill up on gas, you know. So we do that. Usually, I'm out there changing my outfit, but I'm not going to change my outfit. I actually have a few things to do before we go and learn how to build this track. So it's, I mean, it's kind of like a normal episode, but it's a different kind of an episode because we're doing a track. We're in this lobby with the intentions to do a track eventually. One of the main things you want to think about is where is your track going to be. So if you're taking notes, that now's the time to start. Oh, Racer Clad is out there racing on all these tracks right now. But I'm getting ready to try and teach you how to build. All these custom tracks that you guys are on as a community and all of that. There's a couple of different race creators out there. They're kind of big time and got good strong names in our community. And I'm gonna teach you how to attempt doing that. How to attempt making a track that's viable for everybody to race in the community. Something that we can all love and enjoy, and something that ultimately will give you a little bit of notoriety and respect too. You know, okay, I'll try out my track. In order to avoid being looked at like a fool when you do something like that, making some random track that's not very squared away, we're gonna try to show everybody how to keep your track nice and squared away, nice and clean, nice and even all the way around. There are some different functions and things you can use inside the creator once you're there with some of the settings that you can use to get your track level all the way around. You can spin different pieces all the way around so people aren't seeing specific parts of the track as they're going along, so on and so forth. So there's different things to consider, and then there's also one major thing is where's it going to be. Part of the problem in the creator is you only get to use 200 pieces, right? And it doesn't matter what's going on. You just got 200 pieces. Some of the things I see, I can't believe are made with 200 pieces, but that is what it is. It's 200 pieces, and it's difficult to get a real good race, something creative, something nice, something simple, something neat. It's real difficult to get a really well-rounded race with only 200 pieces. So I hear that number might go up as you're migrating on to PS5, and I should mention this is for PS4. This isn't for PS5. I don't know what your setup is in PS5, if it's anything like what I have, or I imagine it would be a lot better. So. There's a different set of races I'm being invited to right there. Oh, it's two different players, I guess, from two different communities inside the... Are you guys in your cliques? For Christ's sake. I like those little playlists where it's just 9 races. It's dope. Alright. What's a good song to play while I'm doing this? Oh. This is one of my favorite songs to use, especially for like the beginning of the broadcast or the beginning of the episode. You know, it's neat that I can do this because now I can include the whole episode. Oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time on the track, so I have a little recording track, and however long the length of the video is how much time you have to apply that here. Let me lengthen that out. I'm just going to duplicate this. Duplicate. 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 That's 7 seconds per duplication. I can't duplicate that one. I can duplicate this one. I'm not sure how long this song is, so I'm going for 3 minutes. Alright. Let's move it back. Don Devin with an invite to playlist 115. Not taking it. I'm not taking it. We're over here getting ready to build a track. 1.2 million? I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. There we go. Alright, I got just a couple more things to do, guys. I'm going to refill my cocaine warehouse. Go check on a couple of warehouses. I got to go talk to Lupe. And I got to go see this guy at this other warehouse. I've named him Carlos. But he doesn't actually have a name. Oh no, I somehow hit the button. Alright, let's just put this in movie mode. There we go. Just stay away from hitting that button. Wrong alley. Oh no. My car's all trashed already right now. Oh my god. Alright, I gotta get out of this CEO so I can go into my motorcycle club where we're just gonna resupply this thing real fast. And we're gonna hop right out. Like, you'll see how quickly I'll hop right out of this. I do it because I don't want to get raided, obviously. So when we're doing special things and we're like hanging out in our motorcycle club, like someone always gets raided. It's just ridiculous. I'm one of those people. There's crews inviting me to one of 8. There's one of 9 earlier. I think I had one of 12 pop up. There's 3 different races going on right now. They can't make up their minds. So we're just gonna go build one of those tracks. We're just gonna go build one. Let's get into this computer real fast. Logging. Alright, let's just resupply it. I should probably come back and resupply it like soon. Soon. Alright. Motorcycle club president, disband. I just don't want to get raided. It takes up so much time. If you get raided once on your way back, you just get raided again. We're about to go find Lupe. There's UFOs all over town. Man, we got abducted as a group last night, so it was dope. Oh. That car just pulled out of nowhere. I swear to God it did. I think I just totaled my car. I'll just go for the next car in the garage.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round.
Calico. And it's up the way.
I'll bring it to you.
The next one is my Porsche. Where's it gonna be? Oh, he brought it to me with the top down? What a dumb mechanic. Just... What a dodo brains. I pay this guy thousands of dollars every day. Are you kidding me? I mean, this guy is... He is past upper middle class. And he's bringing me a Porsche with the top down in the pouring rain. I can't believe. Oh, I think the game ought to have a sensor built into the car. Where if it's raining, the top automatically comes up in the lobby. Like you got no choice. Oh, shit. Oh, he wants to fight it out. Alright, you hit me first. One more. Come on. Yeah, come on. Do it. What's up? Are you done? Oh, 2 pushes. Okay, I'll stomp on your foot. Hit you in the face. Take your money. Move your stupid truck out of the middle of the road. Kill that hunger. Ooh, that might come in handy, actually. Oh. Where'd it go? It's causing more damage than I actually need to. There we go. His dead body is gone. Everything's all cleaned up. or hear stuff on the microphone. What's going on? Kit Kat. I'm getting ready to go build a track. I'm just getting my stuff squared away in the lobby before I do. And I'm on broadcast doing that, by the way. Yeah, so I'm gonna, oops, I missed my turn. So I'm gonna build a track today. And it's gonna be like track building 101. And, I don't know, you can follow along in the broadcast while I'm doing it. And, I don't know, maybe put a little something together. Who knows? You'll have to watch from like your cell phone or your iPad or whatever, and then go into your creator so that you can build a race there. So you won't be in the lobby. Or don't get killed in those public lobbies. Every now and again I pull up in a cop car and I just sit on the highway and I wait for someone to speed past. It takes forever. It takes forever, and then finally when it happens, usually I just kill you right away. But it is though. It is. It's really fun. I have a really nice cop car too, man. I just pull up on people and it's like, oh, whoop. I really love my cars a lot. I have a copy of everybody's cop car. Oh hell yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be all kinds of fun. Well, it'll be more informative than fun. But it'll be a video out there. People who want to learn to build a track can easily like look up what they want to do, and they'll find my video and they'll be like, oh cool, this guy's teaching like step by step everything. Dope. So that's what I'm shooting for anyways. We'll see what happens. Especially the people who like are kind of shy about it, you know, like they don't know, they don't really want people to know, figure it out. They're trying to build a track, you know, like if you're a little bit shy about it, check it out. Lots of people are like, I've thought about doing it, but when I get in there, I just have no idea what to do. Watch this. Yeah, it'll be okay. Let's see here. There he is. The other one is Lupe, and this one's Carlos. Carlos, ¿cómo estás, amigo? All right, $7,500. All right, that's the bulk of my lobby duties. Now that I've accrued so much money and I've bought so much stuff that I really don't have to do anything else in the game. So all I really gotta do is keep a little bit in the pocket up there for if I see someone's car and really like it and want to buy it. So I don't know, I'm level 562. I'm enjoying the benefits of being in game and playing you know, in-game activities and stuff, and doing that now that I'm a higher level and I don't really need money. But it's always fun to go back and help everybody out, you know, get their missions done and do all that. That's always a great thing to do. Alright, so Suspect 20 is going to go to work. I gotta change this tag to Suspect. I imagine this is ideally how people would start their days. Oh shit. Oh no, that just gave me a warning level 2. Let's call Lester so we can take care of this.
I take it this isn't a social call?
Nice.
I take it this isn't purely a social call. Of course not. You're in trouble and you need my help. No problem.
No problem. Of course it's no problem. Scratched up my freaking Porsche doing that. Yeah. Oh well. What do we have left for Halloween up in here? I mean, that's like you just come out of story mode right here, and it's like your first, high class car. You're all excited. You finally get to own one, like principally, like online. Old school. This one's cool. Kit Kat had it yesterday. I like it. I don't think I have that version. I think I have the older version. I had one of these, but I sold it. It's just kind of, I don't know, not my style. And I never really used it for Halloween anyways. I just didn't like it. Oh, we got the Herbie Kirby car. Herbie the Kirby. That actually might be sellable. I might try and sell one of these today. Alright. So, what you want to do is you want to think about your location. I'm going to use like downtown right here, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to save me pieces in the long run. Okay, so let's see here. You're going to say goodbye to your friends and all the people in your party. Well, no, you can stay in your party and do this. Let's hit the pause menu. Go to online. Click into your online options here. Click on the creator. And as long as you have PlayStation and PS Plus, you're good to go. It tells you you're just going to quit the session, and you're cool with quitting the session and do this. Yeah. Oh man, 3 minutes was just enough time. It really was. Alright. We're going to create a race. We're going to create a stunt race, okay? Let's talk about this for a minute. Obviously, there's different types of races here. Drag race, drift race, which I know a lot of people are getting into. I'm not necessarily a drift racing type of guy. I don't appreciate that as much as the regular racing, and so that's another thing I do. But I'm sure that you can use these options inside of that window. Open wheel race, same thing. I'm not an F1 kind of a guy. Sorry, it's just not me, and I don't make those races either. An arena race, I haven't done that yet. An air race, I haven't done that yet. A sea race, I haven't done that yet. A land race, I haven't done that yet. And then there's a stunt race. We're making stunt races because we want 30 people, and we want to be able to utilize some jumps and some rampage, maybe a wall that's going sideways. There are some different stunt set pieces in there that are available to you that you don't have in these other races. Right, so it's only a stunt race because of the tools that it has for you inside the option, and because you can get it to 30 people in your race here. And what you want is a whole lobby of people in your racing. Then you want 30 people, right? So we're going to go into a stunt race. Inside the stunt races, there's different variants of stunt races. The target assault race, the special vehicles race, the transform series type of racing, and then there's just regular stunt race. We're going to choose that today. Now, race details. Let's talk about these race details. I'm going to give my race a title, and it's going to be S202 101. S202 101. Maybe we should call it 101 Avenue. Road? Yard? District? I don't know. We already have an avenue. Let's call it 101 Court Street. No, 101 Court. Nope. Cul-de-sac. I'm at a loss for words. 101 drive. (101) track street. Alright, you may be putting in suggestions in the I can't see your messages. I'm sorry. Alright. The description, your mom made a race. No, choose your own descriptions, people. Choose your own description. Alright, this is just your mom, everything is just a normal S202 comment, your mom. Alright, I'm not going to take a photo of this right now, but let's talk about the maximum players. I'm going to go backwards on that and get it all the way up to 30. The race type is going to be standard, but you could choose non-contact or a rally race if you want, GTA race if you will. Mine's just going to be standard. Laps, number of laps, I'm actually going to set this down to 1, and I'll explain that to you in very short detail. When I get done doing something on this race and I figure that I want to test the track and I want to see how this part of the track is right, I'll have to complete one whole round around the track in order for anything to validate inside the saving or whatever, right? And I want it to save like whole, and when I go and I make the race public and online, when I publish it, you have to race it. In order to publish it, you have to race it one full lap at least, if not 2 or 3. So whatever the number of laps is, like we'll see number of laps, and it'll be set to 3 laps on this race as according to the mileage. You know, you look down at the race mileage and you see that it's 2.7 miles long, and you say, okay, this could be a good maybe 2 or 3 laps for sure, right? Well, I don't feel like just testing the race and publishing it that I should have to do the full 2 or 3 laps, right? And besides, whatever's wrong with it, my friends are going to tell me, like you guys are going to tell me what's wrong with my race so I can go back and fix it. So the number of laps here, I just leave it on 1, so I don't have to do that many laps when I go and publish the race. And I only leave like 1 checkpoint when I first start the races. You know, I only leave 1 checkpoint for the majority of the build, and you'll see going on from there. Starting grid size, I'm just going to leave that there, right there where it is medium. Available vehicles, pay attention here. I'm going to X off of everything, every single thing there is. I'm just going to go through, I'm going to hit X, because I only want 1 series here, and that's the Sport Series. We're going to build this with the Hellfire in mind, or whatever vehicle you want, right? Not only am I hitting X on that, but I'm going to hit the square button on it too. If I can bring your attention to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you have all these options down there. L2 and R2 for zoom, fast zoom, hold the triangle, expand, hold the square, back, you can hit the circle like normal, or select an option, you know. We're going to hit square. It's going to bring up all these different vehicles. Now, out of all the sports vehicles there's this list that tells you. I'm going to mark off every single vehicle except the vehicle I want to have in the race. The Hellfire, the Everon, and then there's just a ton in between. Okay, that part can totally get on my nerves. But we've got the Saber, the Hellfire, and the Everon. all, all chosen. So this is going to be a hot ring race. Oh, that was like a sneeze and a cough at the same time. I almost thought it was going to be a barf. Oh, that was weird. Speaking of barf, I have some food here that I'm going to eat straight from the can. Chef Boyardee! Alright, available vehicles. 3 out of 91. Right there. Sports. 3 out of 91. So I know that I've selected the 3 vehicles that I want selected. There's not an extra vehicle selected or anything like that. And that's that. Let's go to default class as sports. And I'm going to change this. It's not going to be the Saber, but you can see the vehicles that you left selected here. The Hellfire, the Everon, the Saber. I'm going to leave mine on the Hellfire. Now, let's do some ambient settings real fast. A specific time of day, yes. Right now, I want it to be noon, just bright. Right? So, no weathers and stuff. Actually, I'm going to get rid of all the weathers right now. So, no rain, no snow, no smog. We're past Halloween now. Clear is okay. Clouds are, no. No overcast, no thunder. Well, foggy's okay. We can let it be foggy, but that's it. That's it. Traffic, we're going to use the roads, so I'm going to turn the traffic off. Just off. Right, set the blimp text. Mine's just going to be my crew tag, which is S202, 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 whoop, S202. And I'm just going to keep on leaving that. And so anytime you drive by it, it's just going to say S202, like, all the time. Sorry, it would be time for me to go to work, but I have a broken clavicle. And I'm healing from it. It's almost time. I got about a week left. And it's about time, too. I'm getting tired of sitting around. Pedestrians, turn those off. Because, again, I'm going to be using the streets of Los Santos. Your wanted levels are off. Audio settings, I don't really get into all this right here. Force camera view, absolutely not. Stunt camera trigger, no. Ghost of first place, yes. Or first checkpoint, yes. Anti-grief ghosting, no. This is when people are going backwards and their car goes, disable catch-up, goes into passive mode. I'm not going to disable catch-up, and I am not going to disable slipstream, not for right now anyways. Path recordings is something that you don't really need to worry about at the moment, but we will talk about that later on in the series here. Custom vehicles, you want to restrict that. See, restricted. These are the options: open, off, restricted. Just leave it on restricted. Allow vehicle speed boost. I'm not even going to get into that right now. Disable boost on ghosts. Absolutely not. Award stunt RP bonus, of course, because if you're out there having a good time just in the playlist and you're not really racing, you're just kind of hanging out. And sometimes you're out there just driving around, just jumping the jumps and trying to get the open gaps in the race, and however you hang out. That's how I hang out when I'm just there to hang out. Sometimes you just get tired of winning. I'm not going to change the race type. Let's go into the lobby options. Default minimum laps, default maximum laps. Starting grid order is a default. Lock the time of day, yes. Gameplay options. Disable GTA race exiting vehicles, absolutely. Disable wrong way, no. Alright. There we go. All the settings. The description. I haven't done the photo yet. We'll take the photo after the race. Now let's go to our placement. Where are we? We can see I'm downtown. When I say I wanted to start somewhere around Simeon's. Is it just me, or oh wait, I'm a little too close to of course, semi-autos. All right, so let's let's put the marker for the race. Let's see here. I wonder if there's a way I could incorporate that stuff over there into the race. We'll find out. I'm gonna make it right here in the middle of this road down here. You can see in between. I'm just gonna make mine right there. So that's where the trigger is gonna be for all the people to do what they want to do. Okay. The trigger location, again, just right there. You can hit it 50 million times if you want to. Alright, the lobby camera has to be somewhere near that. Okay, so I'm just gonna make it right above it on the highway, and it's gonna be in this green bubble of like stuff. Alright, so let's just make the lobby camera. What can I get? Can I get through here? There we go. I'm gonna get down, and there we go. Alright, we captured that. Alright. Checkpoints. Well, we can't really do a checkpoint right here. I mean, maybe we can. Let's see if we can get these cars to go yellow on this street. Ah. There it is. Perfect. They are in the middle of the highway, all lined up and ready to go. All 30 of them. Sweet. Now I can't do that just anywhere. You could scroll around all over the streets of town and see where it turns red and where it turns green. When you got a row of 30 cars, they want it to be completely like level, so that those cars aren't being impeded or obstructed by any means, shape, or form at all whatsoever. An easy way to get around that, if you're building a race in the air, is to just lay down a prop and get it all the way up into the air, and we'll discover those means and methods to do that right now. I feel like I got something going on with my throat. Let me go grab a soda, and I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we should put something cold there. Alright. So right now what's important is that you have found somewhere around here, somewhere anywhere, to put 30 different cars in a straight area. That place and this place down here where we put the marker down there, over there in between the road, the marker for the race and the lining up checkpoint have to be inside this invisible bubble. that's all the way around us. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big old bubble. So you can figure like right there where the race starts is kind of the middle of the bubble. This bubble is far away. Right, I don't know, can I don't know. I can't display the bubble right now, but the bubble would be as big as that first freeway sign in the middle of my thing, all the way maybe to about half the line of the cars back. You know, like that's how big the bubble area would be. So you have around that kind of an area to put down the initial checkpoint. So it has to be relatively close there, your finish line, your start finish line. But once you get that chosen, let's talk about what we want our viewers to see and what we don't want our viewers or racers to see. I don't mind my viewers and racers seeing the city skyline, so I'm going to leave that part of it open. And I guess moving forward, somewhere beyond that city street sign, I'm going to have to start building an area for these cars to go into. Alright, so let's get that taken care of first. The placement. Okay, so let's see. You'll take it back to this upper left hand screen right here just by hitting the X button once or twice if you're not already in that screen. Sorry, I'll have a drink of my soda. We'll hit the placement option, and then we'll go down to props, and we'll select props. Okay, we got all these different things, and I'll give you guys a minute to go through kind of what each of these props look like. If you hit your left trigger, it'll take you back, and if you hit your right trigger, it'll zoom you in. Okay. Well, let's start by going right. So this is going to be road with the barrier walls on it, and as you go through there, there's more. So take some time to figure out what these things are. Alright, these are just all your different options, just the barriers. There's the tubes that we drive through all the time. There's some of the arrows that we use. This is an air tube, but we also use these tubes to drive in as well. I've never really used the air checkpoints. Stunt air gates, I use these all the time for lighting on my track, especially some of the tracks lately. There's lighting inside and around that, so I use that all the time. Go ahead and check out all of these. Some of those have designs in the bottom of them. You can rotate these props, and you can see that there's a design on the bottom of them, and you can use those designs as walls. You know, I have one track where I've done that kind of thing. So these ones right here, you can use that as a wall, and people won't even see the cone part. They'll just drive up on that wall and be like, "Oh, what is that?" Right? I have several of that in my Vinewood 30 or 30 Vinewood Avenue race. So keep that in mind as you're building walls and things like that. There's different things you can use like this to build walls. They're not only stump props and gates, but I mean you can also sink that down into the track and make it so just the red tips are sticking out right there, and use that for something if you want to. So you can get kind of creative and do what you want. This is a stunt building block, and I'm going to come back to this. This is what I'm going to use, but you can see that this thing is huge, absolutely huge. So there's a way that I can use and bring this up above the cement and everything, but we'll go through that here in just a second. These are the same thing, but they're stunt neon blocks. And so when we see these little squares hanging around as walls or driving paths on the tracks, this is where they're getting that from. Right? There's a actual ramp a stunt ramp, so you won't find this ramp in another menu somewhere. Stunt set pieces, you won't find these, and so what some of those tracks that they make, where you don't have to really necessarily control where the car goes, you just let the track kind of do it for you. A lot of those pieces are found in here. So bear in mind, if you're into making a track where people don't have to really control what they're doing, this is a good start to try and figure out some of what you need to do in this little series of props and things. Okay, different stunt signs. Right, so I think we're all familiar with seeing some of these on the tracks. Again, this is where we get all that stuff from. The blimps that you see on the tracks and all that stuff is just right here in this menu. So just a ton of different stunt signs in there. Special things like the boosts. So we drive through those boosts an awful lot. The slowdown sticks. Alright, if you have a special refill, there's that green neon air boost that people use all the time. You could dump that down into the track and just make it drive throughable, which I'd love to do that. It's one of my favorite things to do. And then we get into different things like race buildings. Right, just different props and stuff you can use along. Painted signs, holiday stuff, track smoothing options. There's a drift obstacle. I don't know why there's a precision drift obstacle on this one. There's a whole drift genre of its own, but that's fine. You can make a template, and it's several pieces all in one, and you can choose to put all those pieces together and then manipulate that however you need it to be on the track as a unit instead of one piece at a time. But you have to put it together one piece at a time, and then you have to have the intention to put this unit of structure slanted and at a different degree than how it would normally be on this track, and then you can go and you can manipulate that as an object and use it up, down, left, right, rotate it, flip it, put some yaw on it, you know, whatever, put some roll in it, change the pitch, etc., so on and so forth. So anyways, benches. Sometimes I get my people with benches all the time. There's different types of benches up in here. Like, there's just so many different items that you guys can use to incorporate into your track in here, right? So just don't forget that there's different ramps, small, big, large. Look, there's the road ramp everybody wishes they could drive up on in the middle of the road trip. All this different stuff, right? So if you're building like a dirt bike place, you know, there's your trash can jump. Just so much different stuff. Other signs, trailers, wreckage, rocks, dynamic props. Let's go through some of these real fast because it's a different category of used props. So you can use up to 50 of these props, or 20, I guess. You can use up to 20 of these props, and they don't count towards the 200 there at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And these are a little harder to knock over. You can knock them over, but they're a little more solid. And missiles and shit, logs, all the piles of logs and poles and stuff always falling all over the track every now and again. The problem with these props are that they take up a lot of memory. So you can see at the bottom right hand corner there's model memory, and that's a gray bar area right there. Dynamic props and props. These take up memory, like a lot of memory. Oh, those are little barrels of pumpkins. Alright, again, the cones, like, you can drive over them, but yeah, you better be going pretty good and fast. So there you go. And then we're back to the regular track. Alright, so I'm gonna go through all of these real fast, just to kind of familiarize you guys with what you just now saw. Right, this is all the different options, right? We're gonna go over to this stunt building block right here, and we're gonna get that big one. So we're gonna go down to where it says block 1 by 2, and we're gonna hit left on that option. It's gonna take us backwards. We're gonna keep hitting left, and that's it right there. Block 28 by 48. Alright, now I said I was going to put this thing on the other side of the sign right here. Alright, if I hit my L1 button, I can rotate this thing left. And this is going to sit however it chooses to sit, depending on where my cursor is. And I can move it right. So I can move it left, I can move it right. I can move it left, I can move it right. Okay. Well, I have it here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of lock it in its place. I'm going to go to advanced options. I'm going to select that, and here I'm going to override the position. So whatever position it's in right now, somehow digitally in its little aspect of a world, I'm going to override it. Boom. Should I use this override? Well, absolutely. I'm going to use the override. Click. How am I going to use it? Well, first I want local alignment. I want it to go north, south, east, west. First, I want it to go up in the world. I can move it forward that way, or I can move it down here this way, and I can move it left to right. On the world view, I can do pretty much the same thing, but depending on how you've got these things twisted and bent, sometimes it's not up, down, left, right. Sometimes it's like vertical, slant, whatever. If that ever is the case, just change it over to local, and you'll get what you need. Now, these are the different axes. I told you guys I can move it up and down. That's the Z axis. So I can sink it down into the earth right now, or I can raise it up into the sky. Okay, there's the Y. Alright, I can push it up there towards the ocean, or I can bring it back towards the city here inside of me. And there's the X, left and right. I can move it left, I can move it right. Alright. The way I do that is by pushing over on my directional pad. Left. And it goes very slow. Or right. Okay, so I've got this thing basically kind of right where I want it. Right. Now, let's play with this for a minute. We can move it up and down, or forward and backwards, or whatever. I'm moving it forwards a little bit. I'm going to make it go faster. I'm going to push this triangle. It's going to go a lot faster. Alright, that's what I need right there. Alright, maybe I'll come back just a little bit. I'm going to come back to like right there. Alright. Now I'm going to put it up in the sky. I told you guys that I can put this thing down in the earth. Oop, now you see it? Now you don't. Or I can put it up in the sky. I can raise it up. You can do this before you start your race. Before you put down the initial starter's point. Like there's the starting line right there where that yellow orb is. You can put down a prop before you put down the yellow orb. You can get rid of that. You can go and cancel that. And you can make this race higher than the ground. Right. So if what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a race that's high into the sky with no city, no nothing, you can get rid of these settings, and you can do what I'm doing right here. And you can use this huge platform that fits 30 cars. You can use this huge platform, and you can put that start, finish line, stop line, whatever. You can put that on the edge of this red thing and fit all 30 cars up there, and that'll do it. As long as you're within that bubble that I was telling you about earlier. You have to be inside of that bubble. Those cars have to be inside of that bubble. It has to be contained. Right? But this bubble is pretty tall. So it's kind of like the big dome, you know. So you can do that. You can do that, and you can build you a track that's all walled in, and you know it's got not any parts of the city. If you want to, you can do that right now. We'll give you the time to go and do that. The only problem is you're going to use more parts, more props than I'm going to use. You'll go through the full 200 for sure. For sure. But that's totally viable. And we can do that. We're not going to get too advanced today. Alright, so if you want to go back and go into checkpoints and lay down your first checkpoint, don't do that. But put the cursor over top of the finish line, that orb right there, and I think it's a square button. You can get rid of that checkpoint, and then you can come back here and you can put a prop in, like that one right there. You can raise it up just the way I've shown you, and you can put that finish line. Once you get it set up as high as you want it to be, which, I mean, we got some tall buildings downtown. You could build this thing off in the distance over in the beach. Well, typically you could build it anywhere you wanted to, unless you wanted to at some point in time in your race incorporate part of the main roads into your track. Like you could build it over there by the bridge and incorporate that bridge into your track. You could put this thing just as high as that bridge, incorporate it into your track, make that part of your finish line or part of the back stretch or whatever. But you can essentially do that. Alright, so do that real fast if that's what you're doing, and we'll carry on. What, baby? The only reason I am putting this race on the road is so I can save pieces when I'm trying to tie this thing back together and, you know, do all this. Now I don't have a whole big old piece here. This is at least 3 or 4 pieces. I mean, this is just one piece right here, but the way we're going to have this set up soon, you know, might as well have been a whole shit ton of pieces with the view and all that, you know. I don't have to box any of this off or put any walls up anywhere along here. This is a stretch. This is the straight stretch. I could put down some track right here, maybe, if I wanted to. Get rid of the road the way it looks. Make it look like we're all driving on a different kind of a track. Up here, the city is our landscape. But either way. Sorry, I'm rambling on here. Okay, hopefully you've got your track up and ready to go. I'm going to set mine back down, but what you should do is put your checkpoint there on the edge, your start finish line on the edge there, and then you'll be able to continue on with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this at a pitch. I mean, you can't do this if you just started your track in the air somewhere. If you just started it in the air somewhere, this is going to have to be flat for the time being. You can't put your checkpoint on an inclined surface. It's got to be level. It's got to be a flat surface and unobstructed. So I'm going to go back now that that's fixed there. I've overridden the position, right? So I'm going to go back on all that. Now I'm just going to these options right here. Okay, and you might have backed up once too far. If you have, I'm going to give you a moment to get back up here. Okay. I have this rotate option, this rotate type that I'm in right now. So you'll want to go to props, and you'll want to go to stunt building blocks. You'll want to start floating right on your D-pad. Right. Stunt building blocks. And then you go down to the type. And you go over until you find 28 by 48. Okay, now you have your piece back. You go into advanced options, override all the positions and use the override and whatever. Go down to Z. Bring your prop up out of the ground a little bit here. Okay. And then back out one time. Alright. Or until you're in this menu with your prop in the air, like that. Okay. So world heading, we're going to go to pitch, and I'm using L1 and R2 to get the pitch I want. Alright. I'm going to go down into advanced options here, and I'm going to move this thing my way. So I'm just going to push it into the ground. So I want those signs to be covered. I don't think you guys should have to drive over top of those signs. So I'm going to raise this thing up until those signs are gone. Gone. Alright, now let's get up close here. Are any of those street lights about to impede you guys? Yes. These two, right here. Let's get rid of those also. There we go. That's kind of how I planned it. Do I need it to be longer? Absolutely I need it to be longer. I want you guys to get a good stretch on this first stretch. So let's make it as long as we can, as long as humanly possible. Eventually you get into something like this and you just can't get it, you just can't drive up there. Alright, well, just, you know, make sure you get it until it's driven down into the ground, and make sure it's really driven down into the ground so you don't have some weird edge somewhere where you didn't see, not lining up in case on your way back or whatever, or I don't know, but just make sure it's really good and in the ground and down there. You don't want to be driving over some weird bump that you can't see. I mean, unless you do, unless that's what you are, unless you want to drive over weird bumps that you don't know existed. Okay. Alright. Which way do I want to go when I get up there? I don't know which way I'm even trying to go up here. So maybe a good thing to think about is, as you're building this thing, is which way do you want to go? Are you feeling the left? Are you feeling the right? Do you feel like there should be an obstacle there? Maybe you should execute a jump? I don't know. Maybe we should. I feel like it grabs everybody's attention when there's a jump right off the bat, you know? So I'm thinking there should be a jump. But I want to make sure it's a good, easy jump. So let's put some walls into this real fast. Okay. Here we are. We've moved this thing left and right and up and down, and we've got it exactly the way we wanted it. We hit back one time and it puts you in this override position option, right? We don't need that. That's not the screen we need. So let's be slow about this, because this is where a lot of people will kind of get it messed up. We're going to hit back twice. There it is. Just that one time, and then one more time when it takes us to this screen. This is the initial screen. If you go past this screen, you're going to lose your piece. Okay? So don't lose your piece. Alright. I think that's how I want that. That's how I want that. And I don't have any other piece attached to my cursor right now, so that is that. Have I set it yet? No. Set it. Now I have another piece attached to my cursor. Alright, so if you don't remember whether or not you set that piece, just move your cursor around. If there's another piece attached to it, that is the way it is. I'm going to go and I'm going to build some walls here. Oh, okay. Here we were. Oh, no. Just don't do what I'm doing right now. Okay, back to where we were. Alright. There's a new piece. Let's build a wall around this real fast. Um, let's see here. I'm moving left on my D-pad. And there's a wall. There's a wall, there's a wall. Oh, I see what's going on here. Allow prop stacking. We want to turn allow prop stacking on. And then we can see our piece. Watch, I'll make it disappear. Off. On. Off. On. Off, on. Off, on. If you don't see your piece for some reason, as you're moving your cursor around the map, that's because you just selected to put your item where it is, and now it's automatically off. You turn it on. Off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. Alright, and that's allow prop stacking. Now, I don't necessarily want this piece, I want the 30 piece. Now, I know what I'm talking about. I want the 30 piece, I want the long piece here. Okay, but there's other pieces, and there are these things. Remember, I can drive these objects into the ground. So my bent wall doesn't need to be some huge fucking bent wall like that. Okay, well I can still use that piece. All I gotta do is just drive it into the ground, like I was showing you guys earlier. Not only can I drive these pieces into the ground and do all that, but I can turn them on their sides and roll them over. Like I can make the 2 feet there. I can make those like 2 arms in the sky. Also, I could put that track right there on top, and I can make it face the bottom down there on the red bit piece. You know, we can rotate that thing all the way around if we want to, and obviously I can rotate it this way. So you know, there's some things that we can do to this. Here, we're in our categories, messing around in our categories. Up here at the top left, we're messing around in the categories. Alright, I want to put a wall on this thing. Alright, it's not in category, I'm in this thing right here. So I want to go down to the type of prop that is. That's a stunt raised track. That's the category of props. Raised tracks. Alright, it's a stunt piece. That's a raised track piece. Okay. Well, what kind of raised track do I want? I want that 30 piece raised track, that long one right there. Okay. But there's all these other pieces too. Alright, can we do different things with these pieces? Yes, we can do different things with these pieces. We can make these pieces rotate and go up and down and go side to side and do all this different stuff. You know that we can do that because you just watched me do that with that big red piece down there. I just played with the pitch a little bit. Okay, how did I play with the pitch a little bit? Well, let me show you how I played with the pitch a little bit. I go down to this rotation type right here, up, left, down on this screen right here on the left. Okay, you got to go to rotation type, and right now I'm pushing L1 and R1. Okay, that's the world heading, right? But if I push one of the over buttons on my directional pad, it'll give me a different option inside of my rotation type. See that world heading? Now I pushed right, so it's bringing me to pitch. I keep pushing right and I can roll. Right? This is what the roll looks like. Right? I can do the yaw. Put some yaw on it. Maybe I'll yaw it in a little bit. Right? I got the world heading. It's kind of the same as the yaw, isn't it? Right? And then there's the pitch. Right? There's this right here. Now let's talk about a clean track while we're on the pitch. I like my tracks to be clean where I can see them and where I know the racers can see them. Maybe at some other point on this track you'll be able to look down and see the finish line area. Do I want you to see that track right there on top of the finish line area on that wall right there? Like, why is there a track on top of that wall? Right? Well, that's cool. I can just turn this thing upside down. Now you don't have to see it. Right? So when we talk about having a clean track and things are kind of, you know, they need to be squared away and this and that, like, those are some of the things that make a track kind of seem messy sometimes. Or when you have 2 blocks that aren't necessarily together, you know, they're together, but they're not together, and there's like a bump there or whatever. Alright, so you can move these things and pitch them around and do all this different stuff with it. Alright, I'm going to put this one on the same pitch as the piece right there. And I'm going to accomplish that just by checking out that yellow line where that track was on the bottom down there. Okay, that looks about even. Alright, so that's the pitch, that's the angle I want on that. So you can move these things around in all these different various ways inside the rotation type. Alright, and you can get it to move and do what you want to do. What I do is I move it to the angle that I need it, just on the pitch. Maybe sometimes I mess with the roll a little bit if I have to, depending on what I got to do. That's getting kind of advanced, you know. But as long as I have the pitch right, the front, the top of the wall is lined up at the same angle as the road that I'm driving on, you know, if that makes sense. It seems like it's clean and it's squared away. Alright, when I have that huge fucking wall right there, right, kind of where I need it, where I want it, it's in the vicinity of the area, you know, like maybe it's not directly where I want it, but it's close. It's close. Now I can go and adjust it. Okay, so I'm going to go down in this top left hand corner. Just going to push down on my D-pad and I'm going to go to advanced options. Now remember, we want to override this stuff. We're trying to use something here. We're trying to do something. So we're overriding this position. We're not overriding the rotation or anything like that. We're just overriding the position. The very first option. Are we going to use the over? Well, absolutely, we're going to use the override. All right. Let's talk about what we need it to do. I don't need it to go inside or outside really all that much. Right? Maybe just a little bit outside, so when I rotate it back in here in a little bit it'll be right. But I mean, outside of that, okay, do I need it to be up or down? Well, I want it to line up with the piece that it's on top of. You know, I don't want that to look weird or anything. So the piece that it's on top of, let's use the other side actually. All right, let's line it up and get it flush up here, or as flush as we can for the moment. Okay, there we go. That's pretty damn close to flush right there. Alright. And do I need to set it down into the ground? Yes, I do. I can set it up. I can go up with it if I want to. I don't see why I would. But you know, maybe there's some day in the future where I realize I would. But I can go up. Now, what I like to do is get down as low as the track is, and say, okay, how much of the track can I actually see, like on the outside? You know, like I'll be driving on it in my car down here. So drive. You know, like what's going on here? All right, what does this look like? Is it too high? Is it too low? Should I drive it down further? Well, I don't want to see the other side of the track right there. I don't want to see that. You see the other side of the road? I don't necessarily want to see that at all. So let's put this wall high enough where I don't have to look at that ugliness, and all I really have is the skyline back there to look at as I'm driving along. I have no clue that this piece is actually as big as it is and it's overlapping by that much on the other side. Not a clue. Not a clue. Alright? So here I'm driving along, blah blah blah, whatever. Alright, can I still see? Yeah, I can still see. It's kind of weird. I don't like that. Alright. Where am I? Am I back here? Maybe I should put like a front wall on this thing. Yeah, I should put a front wall on it. Alright, we'll put a front wall on it. There's one piece that we can use to do that. Let's get this set up. Let's go back one time and another time. Going to get this position out of the way, this pitch and the roll and all of that, the rotate type, or the rotation type. I'm going to put that back to world heading. And I'm just going to invert this thing. And that feels okay to me. Alright, do I like that thing there? Yeah, that's okay right there. Do I think it should be more? I don't know. Let me go and fuss around with it some more and see. Does it really need to be all that high? Maybe I can make it just that high and it'll be okay. I'll just put a wall up there. I just don't want like a huge old like bearing constant thing. I don't know. Can I get rid of the street light? Nah, we can keep that street light. That should be okay. I don't think these street lights are going to matter. People are pretty much going straight right here as it is. Alright. And this is going to end up being a jump anyway. So I selected the X on that position. That's where that's going to be. Now I have this new thing going on right here. My piece is invisible. I haven't selected anything. I'm still in the override option menu up here, right? This is the override position, and I got all these different options. I'm still in that menu. Alright, well, I am going to use the override because I want the same piece, and I want it at the same pitch. You know, maybe I'm going to change the angle up a little bit because I'm going to put it on the other side, but I want the same piece. And I want it at the same pitch, so I'm going to use the override, and that's going to lock in that piece with that pitch. Alright, I don't have to go back and hit all these different settings. Alright, I'm going to drive this thing into the ground, kind of close to where the other piece is. Just going to drive it on in there. I'm going to use that triangle button. Alright, we're going to go through each of these options. Alright, I'm going to scoot it up quite some bit here. Alright, and I'm going to push it over some. Alright, I'm going to go back and make sure that I'm in my world settings. How am I going to do that? I'm going to hit the back button 2 times. 1, 2. Make sure I'm in my world heading, which I am in, because I don't want to ruin the pitch. Right? Now, I incline that side to make it narrower up there, and I incline this side to make it narrower up there. Now I need to go back and I need to scoot this piece over. I just want to make sure that I was in my world heading. Let's get this piece scooted over now that I've got it adjusted with my L1 and R1. Override the position. You're already using the override right here. Alright, do I need to push it down? I guess I could push it down. Which way? Do I need to push it up? I guess maybe I could a little bit. Does it need to come over? A lot. It needs to come over a lot. Alright, this kind of looks fair and equal. Right here. Now, should I put it down some more? I'm going to build a wall so that they can't see that. Gotta build a wall. I'm building a wall there. Alright, let's make this thing kind of the same height. There's that one brick and the top part. Alright, so let's push it down into the ground a little more. Yeah, it's got a brick and some top part there. There we go. Alright, now let's kind of level it up with the one across the way over there. Now those two should be pretty much relatively in the same position. That's okay. So I guess we can push it down just a little bit. There we go. Alright, and always take the time to just go through, make sure that things are, you know, on the up and up. Again, you don't want pieces sticking out where they shouldn't be, or whatever. Alright, so this is going to send my car forward. Well, we're going uphill, right? And, I mean, as long as we're going uphill, we may want a couple of, you know, boosters in here. So let's give it a couple of boosters real fast. I'm going to get out of there, right? I'm going to go 1 time, 2 times. Okay, stop right there. We're going to go up here to the very, very top where it says category. And when we get to that category highlighted, we're going to push over on the right directional button. And we're going to keep going. There we go. Speed boost. Now we're going to go to the type down here. And we're going to push right on the speed boost button and keep pushing it until I get this huge air boost that covers the entire position of the track there. Alright, the way I have it looks here, it looks like I need to rotate it, you know. I'm going to rotate it in this world heading right now. And I'm just using L1 and R1 to do this. Okay, it's pretty high. So not only am I going to use L1 and R1 to do this, but it looks like my other wall disappeared. That's okay. I'm going to set this real fast. Advanced options, override the position, use the override, push this down into the ground. That'll be okay right there for right now. Okay, select that. Let me go back and put my thing in there. I forgot to hit the X button when that wall was where it was. Oh yeah, I do need to do that, huh? I forgot I needed to do something very imperative. I didn't understand a word you just said, sweetheart. I love you. I didn't understand you though, just now. What fear? Fear what, baby? The ear pods? Alright. Let's go up there and check it out, make sure I laid it down right. Alright. That seems okay. Now, let's go back to these. There's an option I didn't show you guys with these. I'm going back here. Okay, I got options. And the options are all the way down here at speed pad intensity. Your speed pad intensity, I always want that to be ultra strong. Like, I mean, send me to the freaking moon. Dude. Alright, I'm going to take this allow prop stacking and I'm going to turn it off for a minute. So now I have all I have is this cursor. And this is very, very important, and you guys need to pay close attention here. Over here in this top left window, it's the props area. We have category, we have type, we have rotation type, we have allow prop stacking, we have advanced options, we have speed pad intensity, we have cycle items, and then below the cycle items we have this thing that's going to change as I move around to different things. Okay, the red triangle in the upper left hand corner in that box, at the bottom of the box, in the upper left hand corner, the bottom of the box, the upper left hand corner is a red triangle. At the very, very bottom it says selected prop, airspeed. I'm going to change that. Selected prop, stunt track, start line grid 30. Right, remember I told you I needed the one that is 30 long? Okay, that's the one that's 30 long. Okay, what is this? Selected prop, block 28 by 48. Remember, anytime you're going to remove something, you want to look down in that area and see where your cursor is. I want to remove this green thing right here, this speed boost. Okay, so I got to make sure that says that I have a selected prop, airspeed boost. I'm going to hit the square on that. That's going to get rid of that prop. Okay, I'm going to turn my allow prop stacking up here, upper left hand corner. Allow prop stacking. I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to use L1 and R1 to utilize the world heading rotation. Right. Make sure that it's on ultra strong. Two options down at speed pad intensity. Okay, I want to lay that there on this hill, but I want to lay 2 of them there. But I need to put it into the ground a little bit, right? So that everybody can actually hit it. So let's go to advanced options, override the position, use the override. I'm going to go down to the Z-axis, and the Z-axis is going to just push this thing into the ground. Okay, I don't need about that much of it. You know, maybe I'll scoot it over a little bit. You know, put it up there some, scoot it over some. It's still kind of lopsided in there, so maybe I'll just put it like that. Kind of make it level, make it right. Get it squared away. Keep it squared away. There we go. I like that where it is. I think all the cars can hit it on both sides. I'm just going to push the X button on it, and that'll set it where it's at. Now I still have this prop inside of this override position. I'm just going to move forward kind of where I want this prop to be. Alright, I'm going to put a couple of these up in here. You know, you lose your speed going uphill pretty easily. Well, I'm going to get it set right here. Alright, I'm going to override the position. I'm going to use the override. And I'm going to go down to my Z axis. And I'm just going to shove this thing into the ground. There we are. Now, what I was telling you earlier is, can I test that and see what happens, and like where my car goes when I jump off of that? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm gonna back up 2 times. No. 3 times. I have to put a checkpoint in here because it's not going to give me an option. I can save it the way it is right now. Let's go ahead and save it. A 4th. Back up 1 more time. Let's go ahead and save it. Saving your track. Oh, okay. It's been saved. I can't test it. You know why I can't test it? I don't have any checkpoints on it. So let's go into placement. And let's go into checkpoints. And let's put in our very first checkpoint. Okay, there's the starting line right there. Okay, let's put in our very first checkpoint right here in front of this yellow thing, right after we get onto the actual product of the race here, this stunt building square. Okay, we'll make one there, and let's see. Just as soon as that bad boy opens up and turns yellow. There we go. Now I might have to put a second air thing there just in case. See, whoever doesn't make it see where they might land and put something there for them. Perhaps. Now that I have those there, though, let me go back 1, 2. Let me save it. Okay. Now I'm gonna test it, and I'm gonna see where my car goes. Right. So we're gonna teach you something cool. Test race. We're gonna get in this test race. Don't worry. You don't have to be fast about this. All right. At the top left-hand. Well, it's going to tell me it's the respawn. You can push down on the left directional button, and that'll put you into this test screen or whatever that says. Rest. I don't know. I got thing on the TV in the way right there. I'm going down to path recording options. And I'm going to turn those on. Okay, so I'm going to begin recording my path. Right, I'm going to back out of that. Just begin recording my path. Back out. Top left hand, you can see you can push down to activate the menu for your test track, your test run. Alright, when you push down, you get restart, exit the test, and path recording options. Go into path recording options, choose to begin recording. Alright, once you begin recording, you're going to get an option to end the recording. Don't select that option, just select the circle button and back out of all of that until you're in this menu. Now let's go and see where this car goes over this jump. pretty good jump. Oh. Alright. Now, activate this menu. Let's exit this test real fast. I'll show you what just happened. Alright, so here we are at the starting line. With all the cars and everything, right? You not only have your checkpoint line that tells you, okay, here's the starting line right here, and then the next checkpoint, blah blah blah. But you have a line coming off this first car. That's you. You have a line coming off this first car, and that tells you where your track is, where your path is. Okay, the line recording option just recorded that whole jump. So you can see this red thing right here, and you can fix props along that red line in order to appease the jump and what's going on. So let's say I can get a track that's got a bend on it up and down, and I can put it just right inside of that line and make it so you guys feel like you're barely touching the track. Which is, I'd love to do that. I'd love that to be like the first thing in an S202 race, is for there to be this bend like this. Now this is awful low. This is awful low, and that's getting a bent piece of track to fit that bend is kind of a timely thing. And my girlfriend just reminded me that I need to go and get some items from the store, and it's getting ready to be dark. But you can see that there's that option there. If you know how to utilize the pitch and the roll and do all this, and if you're going to have the patience to do all that, then you could work with what you have at this point and kind of use a pretty good detail. That the only thing I really have left to show you is kind of how to get something very finely lined up, which I would like to get going, but here we've just built this huge jump. Tell you what, I'll come back tonight and we'll finish this up. I just need to go to the store and get some very essential smoking products. And yeah, so I'm out right now. I'm gonna have to roll the smoke here soon. Alright, let's go back into placement. Let's get a prop. Okay, I'm going to want, let's turn this on so we can see what kind of props we're looking at here. The allow prop stacking, you're going to want to turn that on. Okay, so let's go down these options, go to allow prop stacking, turn that on. Okay. Painted signs, I don't want that. I want the building blocks here, these things. Okay, let's get this building block. Now it's red. I'm going to make it a different color so that I can see, like the difference in what's going on here. And my tracks are red, blue, and black, so that's what we're going to deal with. Now, something to keep in mind, you can see this piece floating around on top of the piece that it's on. Or when I move my cursor to above the road, you can see it trying to go level with the road, right? So it's going to go level with whatever you have the cursor on top of, for starters. Okay. So if it's on top of the wall, it's going to be level with what's on top of the wall. Maybe I can build something here and make it like kind of a house or whatever, like a tunnel. I don't know. Anyways, it's going to be level with whatever you have. In order to keep it there, you're going to have to change. Like, say you want to use this and you want the incline to keep going, which is not what I want. Actually, I want it to go across here. I want you guys to just miss that landing. And I want to continue it going on along. But I want it to, let's say that you wanted to keep that there at that level and continue that. You can go into prop snapping and try to get your prop to snap onto the edge of it like that. So I like to hit the R1 button and let go of it when it snaps. And then you could place that there, but that wouldn't be a jump anymore. Now once it is snapped, you can hit R1 and you can raise it, or you can lower it, or you can whatever, you can get rid of all that together. So maybe just so they don't see that, right? Maybe that's good enough. Alright, and we'll put that there. Now it's going to keep on snapping on. It's going to automatically just snap and snap and snap and snap. That's fine. It's allowed to automatically snap and snap and snap and snap. I'm wondering if I should leave that there. I mean, I'm actually kind of building the, I think I might end up building a dope little track here, and I'm wondering if I should leave that snapped on there like that, and at that angle, or not. Should I just build the platform over here, the landing platform, and call that a day? Let's see. Okay, so just remember to pay attention to my options over here as I kind of flutter around on the screen and kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to use my snapping option. Just snap on the next piece. This level all the way across. I don't have to worry about it connecting or there being a bump right there or anything like that. You know, and I'm going to go ahead and let that be too. Now, I'm going to bring it up to this road and have us all go around this bend. Right, or something. Alright, I'm just going to leave that right where it is on top of that piece. It's going to set level. And I'm just going to, well, let me go back a couple and turn it to a different color. There, we'll use black. I'll go back down into advanced options, override the position. I'll go down to my Z axis. And I will lower it into the thing. Now, notice that little blip right there. Blip, there it is. It's very hard to achieve that sometimes. I'll go one more hit below it, one hit above it, below it, above it, and I'm just going one hit at a time. Alright, maybe if I go 2 hits above it, one below it, one more above, below, above, above, below, below, above, below, above. The problem is this, you guys. Let's get down close. And this is going to be where some people tell you, hey, there's a bump in the track that messed me up, and, well, I don't know what I ran over, or some kind of weird business like that. What happens is this right here. You see where the two pieces meet? Below, above, below, above. And at some point, I need that to be like as level as I can possibly get it. Like that right there. So now these two pieces overlap. That's kind of what we're looking for, but still, that's kind of dirty, and I don't really like that either. Maybe I'll just move it incredibly slowly. How do I move it incredibly slowly? I want to push the square button, and while I'm pushing the square button, then I'm going to make my adjustments, and it's going to be incredibly slow and incredibly fine and very, very incremental, so that you can match up two butts of anything very, very smoothly. Okay, so you can see you saw where the blip came in. You see that? Now I can make that blip even lesser of a blip, right? I can make it well defined. I can make that whole damn piece blue if I wanted to, right? And we could all still drive over that just as easily as we wanted to. Nobody would complain. We would also be able to, you know, like we've got several clicks here. Look, this is, alright. We would all be able to drive over that just fine. No bump, no nothing. We wouldn't even feel driving over this. Alright. You can see where the two pieces line up right there. Okay, but you can see there's a little bit of blue up there, right? We wouldn't feel that with our tires. Let's hold down the square button and then adjust up and down, and you can see we can make that as fine as we want to. I mean, that looks pretty damn close right there. That looks exact, right? Well, it is about exact. You can see about as exact as it is. It's stupid exact, so exact that both pieces are shining through at the same time. That's how people accomplish that effect. But then also, if you didn't want it to look like that, because that might fuck with your vision a little bit or someone else's vision. If you didn't want it to look like that, man, all you gotta do is hit that square button. That'll give you that fine adjustment hold, right? And then you can put that piece anywhere you want it. I'm gonna float up above that because I don't like the way that looks in every single race. And I'm gonna float down on that square button until it goes away. Alright, so I want the black piece set up right there. So float, and boom, it's gone. Not only is it gone, but the piece that we're driving onto no longer has that huge old bump in it. Right? And if it does, I can just continue to adjust it. You know? Maybe I'll just have to live with it like this. You know? But whatever the case, you can get rid of those bumps from piece to piece if you're just setting them into each other by using the square button and fine adjusting whatever it is. And that's something that I've just recently realized that I can do, and that's something that I should realize that I passed on to you guys. So let me I've gotten away from using the music that I use for editing my videos. Let me go into my YouTube and let me address your guys' comments real fast. Review my channel, go into the broadcast. Approved, what up, man? Any way you want it, that's the way. Yeah, for sure. Especially when you can fine adjust what you're building. Like when you have the ability to finally fine adjust that and be like, oh shit, I can put any two pieces together and have a fine adjustment. Not only can I do that, but I can also go back and I can mess around with the pitch, and I can fine adjust that if I want to inside of those advanced options. Or I could roll it on its side a little bit, maybe we're flying through the air and oh my gosh, like I went too far, just put one of these things down, it'll be okay. Right, we can change the yaw on it. Now it's spinning from in its direction. We could change the world heading on it. Now it's rotating left to right, right to left, so on and so forth. So you can do all these different things to it. Let's see here. Looks like that was just an invite. Either way, you can do much of any of those things, and just fine tune everything with that advanced props, square button, this and that. So, Force One Interceptor, I see you loving and liking. I don't know if you knew about the fine tuning, fine adjustment button, the square one, but if you didn't know about that, now you know, my friend. Howdy, Force One. And ladies and gentlemen, we got Aqua Donkey prospecting in the chat right now. Aqua Donkey prospecting is commonly in our live chat. We always love you showing up to the broadcast there. Vanilla Ron, ladies and gentlemen, Vanilla Ron. We're gonna drive right by that building right there. That's gonna be kind of dope. I like that. Anyways, we'll come back. We'll put a wall in over here, and we'll do some different things. And I'll show you some other things. As far as coming back to this track goes, now I kind of know where I'm headed with it and what I'm going to do with it. And okay, I know where to put some walls and where to put some checkpoints. And it looks like we're about to have the first maybe 15% of this track done when I come back and retouch up on this building a track area. But I've pretty much given you a lot of tools that you guys can be able to use as far as getting tracks built and getting things squared away. So be sure that when you are building tracks, you're using the fine adjustment button to get things finely adjusted, especially like as you're driving along walls. There's two walls that kind of meld together. Every now and again you hit the second wall and it's like, oh shit, that thing was sticking out just a little bit, Fine adjustment. That's the way to go. So there we have it. Small crash course of 101 onto how to get into the creator, what you're kind of looking at as far as some of these options go, what you do want to choose as far as some of these options go, how you can manipulate the screen as far as laying down these options and the advanced options, and then what those advanced options are all about after you choose that override, which way you can push them that way, you can stick them this way, you can make a different world alignment, you can, in and out, all up and down and around. You can manipulate it. Not only can you do that, but if you hit the square button while you're doing it, you can get it to go really slow
and really minute steps at a time, and so you can fine adjust where two pieces meet together and get rid of the bumps and get rid of the different, you know, protruding objects that you didn't know existed, that you weren't looking close enough, or that you couldn't see because one way or the other, this or that. Not sure that I've taught everybody something new today, but I have taught the people who have never gone into the creator before exactly what it is you have to look forward to, and what you can do, and what your options are, and what's available to you as you go on along. We've covered some prop snapping, right? We covered the advanced options and pretty, I feel like at length, right? And now that we've got the fine adjustment hold on there, we've really gotten you far into the abilities, being able to build a track. You can fine adjust, you can rotate, you can use the world heading, you can pitch, you can yaw, you can roll, you can do this and that. So you know how to scroll through all the different options of props and all of that. The rest of it is pretty basic and straightforward. You lay down all the checkpoints, you know, and once you lay down all the checkpoints, you're about time to publish the race, you know. So you've laid down all the driveways, all the wallways, all the this, all the that. Okay, once you've got all the wallways up and you've got all your pieces and everything everywhere, you know, lay down a checkpoint. You know, maybe you'll go back and you'll say, well, I feel like it's too many checkpoints, and I said, you know, okay, well, go back and put a wall in somewhere and make some areas thinner where you don't have to use two different style of checkpoints. And we'll cover the style of checkpoints and everything when I return, and we'll make that a second part of the broadcast tonight. As for now, I do have an errand to run as the sun is going down in my side of the world. So I appreciate you guys joining up on the thing here. Respect, Milo. Thank you, Force One. Man, I appreciate you, especially, you know, watching these videos, and I know you're out there creating races all the time, and something like that fine adjustment button right there in the bottom left hand screen, or the bottom right hand screen, that bar down there, something like that really ups the game a little bit. And especially now that Force One, you know how to, you know, tilt, you know, rotate, put a pitch on something, make it roll, this and that. Now that you know how to tilt those things, now, you know, like, you totally know how to make those fine adjustments. And so that's just gonna advance your track building altogether, man. So I'm real excited for that. Force One, I would like for you to get a playlist together for the S202s, and I want it to be your best tracks. I don't want it to be the same track over and over again like we did that one time. I want it to be different tracks. I want it to be your best tracks, and I want it to be somewhere in the vicinity of, I don't know, 7 to 12, 7 to 13 races or so. If you have 7 to 13 races that you can do that. That would be awesome for us, and we can do that in the next day or two, Force One, if you don't mind. Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were able to sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Please, 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 don't forget to hit like. You have to hit like. That's like the #1 thing you could do for these videos, is just hit like. I got Vanilla Ron in here. He's doing a lot of talking and commenting, and we love the comments, especially, you know, during the live stream. So that's dope. That really helps out a lot. But you guys gotta hit like on these videos, otherwise I'm just floating around to, you know, just the people I know. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tap that notifications bell. That's how you know we're going live on air and doing a broadcast. And when we drop a video, that's all edited content from one of these broadcasts that you've seen. So what we commonly do is we clip out a bunch of different parts of the video from the broadcast, and then we turn that into an episode. We put that on the video side of the page, and on the video side of the page you guys can go back and see some of the broadcasts that we've had just clipped into video form. They're kind of just episodes, and we love to do that for you guys. We take our time doing that. Until one of those episodes break out again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys in the next broadcast, which is going to be here in just a little bit tonight. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.